Next to practice at the New South Wales Bar was Kathleen Trevelyan, known as Kay or Kath. She had previously worked at the New South Wales Justice Department. An active supporter of other women at the New South Wales Bar was Janet Coombs, daughter of former Reserve Bank Governor Dr H.C. Nugget Coombs. Janet Coombs would take new women barristers to lunch in the bar common room to welcome them to the bar. The lunch held by the Women Barristers Forum and the Women Lawyers Association to welcome each new intake of women barristers to the bar is named in her honour.
I told Mum and Dad I want to be a barrister. Dad said, "What do you want to do that for?" So I said, "Well, Dad, you know I love talking. Imagine talking all day and being paid for it." The first 3 years I was at the bar, I was not allowed to attend the bench and bar dinner. The first year, I sort of only found out after it had happened, and I was terribly upset and wrote a very hostile letter, but I fortunately showed it to Godfrey Smith before sending it, and he tore it up and wrote another one, which had a tear in every line, which talked about how I had always admired their main speaker, how I had longed to hear him speak on this subject, how devastated I was at the loss of this wonderful opportunity, and how, if they would only let me come, women of the future would be so grateful forever. The next year I was not omitted from the mailing list like I had been the first time, but I got a letter telling me not to come.
Janet Coombs eventually purchased her room on the 13th floor of Selborne Chambers in 1969 and remained there for over 30 years.
Most of my work in my first 4 years was petty sessions, and I had been offered all this divorce work, which was a sort of slightly, well, much better paid and more prestigious, I would say, than the work I was actually doing. But I was happy. I was ecstatic to do even a mention in the Petty Sessions Court. I mean, I was so thrilled to be a barrister and so thrilled to be in court always. I never lost the thrill of it. It was always the greatest thrill of my life to stand up in court and do even a mention.
What was Helen's area of practice?
Oh, she was one of the divorce lawyers, and she was excellent.
When I first started here, Helen was a barrister on the floor. She was quite elderly at that time. I'd be guessing probably around 70 or maybe early 70s. Tiny little lady, and I seem to recall her field was like probate and wills, things like that.
I remember I went to one firm and they said, "Can you type?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Well, go and learn to type and you can come back as a secretary and then, you know, do some articles too." So I made a resolution that I would never learn to type, and I never did.